what's happening, everybody? Rod J back again to take a look at another beer. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. Actually taking a look at one tonight from Other Half Brewing. So this is another beer that have been sent to me by Average Joe, and this is the broccoli. Not sure why you would name a beer broccoli, but that's what they did. I am not a fan of broccoli, but you know what? They didn't use it in the beer, so I should be okay. So this one here, double dry hopped Imperial India Pale Ale, 7.9% ABV, another 1 pint can, nothing else really on the back end. So let's get it open and get it into a glass and see how the broccoli does. Of course, if broccoli was a vegetable like this, I would definitely eat it, that's for sure. The regular broccoli stuff, no way, no. Do not do well with that. So there you go, big old hazy beer again, which I figure Other Half out of Brooklyn, New York, kind of specializes in the New England IPAs is what I'm thinking. Check that out. Looks like a glass of orange juice, basically. A little bit more blended down, a little bit more yellow than orange. The head itself, I mean, it only came out less about half a finger of head, so not a lot of head there. So we'll see if there's any lacing that takes place. Not seeing through to the other side, but like I said, pretty much a juice-looking drink. Wow, good aroma. Now this is actually pretty fresh. The can date on this one was 11/29/2017. Today is December 19th, 2017. So got some pretty good freshness there. Aromas come right out of the glass very nicely. Picking up some of the dankness from the hops. Picking up, again, some of the fruitiness, kind of the tropical citrus feel. Some of the things like mango, papaya, once again. A little bit, if you saw the Other Half Brewing review that I done, a little bit of kind of a muskiness in there. But definitely a good amount of dankness as well, all hop forward as you would expect. And outside of that, nothing really too much. Like I said, it's kind of got a juice type feel. Let's check the taste. Texture, very much juice-like. You do have some ramped up bitterness in there that I'm picking up on the initial and on the finish. Good amount of astringency, of course, in place with this one here as an IPA. Do have a little bit of a puckering sensation there. Medium body beer. You can feel a little bit of the carbonation in there once you swallow. You do get a little bit of a nice little burn there on the throat as it goes down. Feeling some pretty good mouth action taking place. I am feeling it up in the cheek area. So flavors are jumping around nicely on this one. Feel like it's going to have a nice lasting duration here. Not feeling the need to rush in to get another drink out of it, as the flavors are swirling around very nicely. Texture-wise, very sturdy. No thinness really in there. Does have that dryness there with an IPA that you're going to get on the back end as well. Doesn't really jump out with anything else really to me. Do get a little bit of that tropical flavor in the taste as well. Very nicely done in that way. I think the other one I have from Other Half had a little bit more going on what this one has, but definitely pretty solid, but not overly bitter. That astringency does kick in after that dry texture hits you in the mouth as well. It's definitely got a thirst quenching quality though to it. As far as when you're drinking it, you can kind of sit here and pretty much chug through this rather easily. So you do want to control your flow along those lines so that you're not just chugging it out. Although, if you like to chug beers, then chug beers. I know some people don't like when you see that, but it's your beer. You can do what you want with it. I want to say a little bit of a tartness in there as well, but all in all, pretty decent. They do see some of the lacing there now taking place on the beer as well, so it did lace a little bit in that regard. So as far as taking a look at it for a rating, appearance-wise, I think it gives it kind of a nice appearance on this one. Like I said, the head was a little bit less than what I was expecting, but the body for this type of IPA, going kind of with the New England type style, it definitely meets kind of what they're looking to do with that kind of beer. Also the hops used in here are Cascade, Hallertau Blanc rather, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops. So 4 different hops used. I think appearance is okay on it. I would have liked a little bit, maybe more of a head, but I think with these ones, you're going to have more of a limited one. So appearance-wise for me, would actually be a 13 out of 15. because you got to consider that style with the haze, and they pretty much nailed that along those lines. As far as the aroma comes out of the glass very easily. Like I say, you're not sniffing really hard, you're really picking it up nicely. It really wins you over a little bit with that, with the hoppiness that you also get, and you get those fruit and tropical tones as well for what you want on the IPA. Pretty good flavor notes along those lines out of the aroma. So let's go ahead and give that one a 13 out of 15. As far as the flavor, the initial, the finish, the feel of the flavor, you do get some of that in there. It doesn't really, like I said, knock you back as much as the other one did, but you do have a lot of stuff going on there. It does carry a nice duration of the flavor. So for that, I'm going to give this one a 12 out of 15. And then for the palate, I think it does provide a nice palatable experience. You do have to be an IPA fan for this one a little bit more, of course, because you do have that bitterness that does come into play. But it does have a nice body on it. Texture is pretty solid. Carbonation is a little bit ramp, but nothing that's overly done at all. And you do have a nice feel of the finish as well. Do get a little bit of that throat burn in there, so you can definitely pick up the hops on the back end. So for me, that's actually going to be on a palate a 12 out of 15. And then on the overall, I think it's a decent IPA experience. I think if you're having an IPA, this is kind of something you would shoot for, especially if it's a New England style. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it provides everything you kind of need to make that mark. So for me, on the overall, I'm going to actually give this one here a 36 out of 40. So I'm going to go ahead and total everything up and see what it comes out to be. So this one here came out to be an 86 out of 100 for me. So again, solidly right there. Now that's actually strong B type area. If you've had this before, let me know what you think about it. If you think it might be more than that or so. I know it's gotten some good reviews out there as far as what some people had thought about this. Like I said, I like the other one a little bit more on the one I had previously, but you know, I think it's definitely solid and decent. If you're an IPA fan, you definitely want to enjoy this one and pick it up. So again, this is the broccoli from Other Half. And thank you again, Joe, for sending that one in, and look forward to trying the other beers I have here. That all being said, thanks for swinging by and check out another video. I look forward to catching you guys next time. As always, keep drinking those good craft beers, and remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers.